Mama said you got lost last year and couldn't find your way to our house. We really missed you, especially my little sister. Please come this year, Santa. We are being very good. Mama says you'll get lost again maybe, so here's a map. Love, Craig. P.S. Don't leave anything for Daddy because he isn't here anymore.
That year, Dick passed the hat among his friends and collected enough money to bring Christmas to 83 Seattle families. The Forgotten Children's Fund currently provides a complete Christmas to more than 700 families in Pierce, Chelan, King, Snohomish, and Skagit counties. We are an all-volunteer organization dedicated to helping deserving families who would not otherwise enjoy the bounty of a Christmas experience. We are anonymous, and when we visit the children, we are Santa and the elves from the North Pole, not a charity. We select families based on need. We support families not served by other organizations, and we purchase, wrap, and deliver our gifts every Christmas. In some instances, where the need is obvious and alarming, we provide after-Christmas help, sometimes with rent, and sometimes just to turn on the heat.
Well, the Forgotten Children's Fund is a group of volunteers and Santa helpers who get together at a North Pole, and we wrap and present presents to over 700 families. Approximately 21,000 presents are given individually to the kids who've been screened by our volunteer screeners. And every Christmas Eve, we go out and with our sleighs, with our volunteers and our wrappers who spent time, they get to go out and help us when we deliver food and gifts to these. I think it's something like 700 families, but you know, I'm Santa. I got elves that handle all the details.
Yes. Santa, what's it like for these special families to see you on Christmas Eve and to get these presents?
It's absolutely amazing. It's really heartwarming. It's the first home visit I did with Forgotten Children. I walked in the house, this was 19 years ago, and a little girl, couldn't be more 3 or 4 years old, and she wrapped both arms around my legs and squeezed me and said, "I knew you'd come, I knew you'd come." There was no furniture, so Santa sat on the floor and they gathered all the kids around. It was a blended family. Mom and Dad recently had a small baby, and Mom's brother had been murdered in Chicago, and so they had their kids. I think there was like 9 or 10 kids there. And they had nothing, but they were the happiest people you could ever find. And that's what it's about.
The gift of generosity is putting smiles on the faces of kids this holiday season. Here at Q13 Fox, we partnered with Les Schwab Tire Centers and collected toys for less fortunate families. Oftentimes, we never see where these toys end up or the joy they bring to the kids who receive them. But today, our Adam Mertz rode along with Santa as some of those presents were delivered.
Merry Christmas, Merry Christmas, ho, ho, ho.
Sometimes even Santa
Right here, okay.
needs help finding the homes of kids waiting for a special delivery, one too big for a sleigh pulled by reindeer.
Oh, wow.
Santa's gifts arriving a day early.
They always hear Santa and Santa, but you know, it's going to be a good Christmas for the kids.
For this family, they are toys and presents which may have not been under the tree on Christmas morning, if not for Santa and his elves.
It's a nice bike. Yes? Yeah. Yes, it's a nice bike.
Sometimes you walk away crying, you know, that because of the people that they're down and they're looking for a little hand up.
Through the Forgotten Children's Fund, Christmas will come early for hundreds of families throughout the Puget Sound. Toys and coats all donated and then delivered by the man in red.
It's a true blessing, I can't describe how much a blessing it is for us.
Kids open one present now and then try to save the rest for tomorrow. Their parents just as excited as them.
This made our Christmas very special. It really did.
It's how Santa and his elves hope every family feels.
We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Now it's on to the next house.
Christmas is for the kids, and that's what we do it for. Merry Christmas.
How do we accomplish this? We begin each fall by looking for a North Pole. We need nearly 50,000 square feet donated to us for a month to wrap gifts and to stage our deliveries. About that time, our volunteer screeners are going through the hundreds of applications for help, and we talk by telephone to all of the applicants to be certain that they meet our guidelines. We get our Santas together to talk about the coming year, to assign specific appearances, and to share experiences from past years. About the 1st of December, we open the North Pole, and the hundreds of volunteers begin the job of wrapping the 21,000 gifts that we distribute every year.
Here we are with Wes and Josh, and they're here returning again for the Forgotten Children's Fund here at the Wrap Center. How long have you been here?
We've been doing it for a couple years now. Yep.
And how did you learn about it?
So we built some bikes for a Build-A-Bike through work, and we donated them to the Forgotten Children's Fund, and then Josh and I decided to come back.
And Josh, how did you find out?
Through Wes.
Through Wes. Right? You see what we've been saying all along? It's all about the friendship and the relationships that happen within the Forgotten Children's Fund. Merry Christmas, everybody.
Each child will receive 3 new presents, age and sex appropriate, with their name on the tag. Every child will get a new winter coat. Every boy and girl, if their parents think it's appropriate, gets a brand new bicycle and helmet. Besides that, they all receive a stuffed stocking, books, and a blanket when necessary. On top of it all, we provide a box of food with all the makings for Christmas dinner. Christmas Eve morning, all of our gifts are tagged, wrapped, and ready for delivery. It is very organized chaos at the North Pole. We've gathered the 30-odd box trucks, some donated, others rented, and have recruited and organized their drivers. These trucks will carry the presents and will follow Santa and his elves on their appointed rounds. Santas, elves, some 250 of them, and other volunteers gather and get ready to go out. We dress the Santas, we make up the elves, and we organize them into 30 or so teams. And we will send out a group of Santas, elves, and drivers every 10 minutes.
Hi everybody, I'm Greg Backey, and I have been either a board member or a volunteer or both for over 15 years with Forgotten Children's Fund. I got started when my dad was a Santa Claus and I was one of his elves, and my brothers were elves with me, and it's been a really special time for us, and it's become one of our Christmas traditions in our family. Even today, my aunt and uncle and several of my cousins are involved. My nieces and nephews are now our elves as my dad has passed on, and my brother and I have kind of picked up the mantle as Santa. We get to have the whole family together, and so it's really cool because we volunteer as much as we possibly can, and certainly being Santa Claus and elves is a really special time.
In addition to our Christmas program, the Forgotten Children's Fund owns and operates the Embarcy Ranch on Whidbey Island. From May through August, we host deserving children from the Seattle area to give them a ranch experience, a day away from the sometimes difficult issues in their lives. When they arrive, we swear them in as the deputies of the Embarcy Ranch, and we raise the flag. We send them then to our costume room. Cowboys, cowgirls, Indians, astronauts. We don't care. For every child that is able, they'll be able to ride a horse, probably for the first time. The kids will get a wagon ride, driven by one of our volunteers. We have a craft room where they can make jewelry, paint, and do other projects. And of course, we feed them a cowboy lunch. We've served families with autistic children, Down syndrome families, families from domestic violence shelters, dependents of deployed naval personnel from Whidbey Island Naval Air Station, as well as mainstream kids from YMCAs and local schools.
Hi, my name is Katrina Davis, and I'm a family advocate at Seattle Children's Autism Center. My job is to help families and individuals living with autism navigate the complex and sometimes difficult maze that comes with an autism diagnosis. I have the honor and privilege to work with families who have challenges and joys and struggles and hope, just like the rest of us. And one of the things that I really love about my job is the opportunity to work with the families and get them out into community opportunities. And we've been so fortunate to join forces with the Forgotten Children's Fund. The Forgotten Children's Fund owns and operates a ranch on Whidbey Island called the Embarcy Ranch. It's a very special place, and they've been so kind to offer ranch experiences for our families. So our families living with autism get the opportunity every summer to go out onto the Embarcy Ranch and do a wagon ride, ride a horse, play in the ghost town, have a great lunch, and interact with the amazing, kind, and really supportive volunteers who own and operate and run the Embarcy Ranch. So because of the Forgotten Children's Fund, some of these families who don't get a chance to get out of the city much, or that don't have the means to participate in something as exciting and different as a ranch experience, get this opportunity. So we're deeply grateful for that connection we have with the Forgotten Children's Fund and all the great people out at the ranch.
Last year, nearly 2,000 children visited the ranch at no cost to any guest. Again, the ranch is run by many, many amazing and dedicated volunteers. We ask you for your continued support in our effort to make the lives of some of our most deserving children a little better. Thank you.